Right on time, as anticipated, Apple just released the release candidate or C of iOS 18.4. Now, quick caveat, because traditionally this means that the following week we should receive the actual public release of iOS 18.4. However, since we're a little early for their April timeframe, and we do have another Monday in the month before April comes, there could be a second RC, especially if there's any bugs discovered or if they feel like any additional tweaking is needed. So, I'm pausing and pumping the brakes a little bit to say this will be released to the general public in a week. It could possibly still be 2 weeks to follow with Apple's timeline, but aside from that, the RC is here for developers. Let's go ahead and do a quick dive into it, take a look at the build number, and talk about some of the new features that are coming in this release. As we're aware, Apple Intelligence did not take a significant step forward here, unfortunately, so it's going to be more minor tweaks, UI improvements, and performance stability. Let's go. Okay, so the RC of 18.4 just finished installing, and actually before we jump into it, let's do a quick temp check because if you follow our channel, you know the actual temperature of the phone got significantly warm on the prior betas, and you can see it's running basically over 100 degrees depending on where you're actually aiming this sensor. So it's about 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a little warmer than you would expect, and it is warm to the touch, but hopefully that'll subside once this update completes the install. Jumping right into settings and about, you can see iOS 18.4 has a build number of 22E239. Now, providing that we don't get a second RC or a release candidate 2 next week, this should be the release going public within a week or so, and we'll talk about all that here in a second. What we do know though, from this build, we got a couple of new features, but nothing really in regards to Apple Intelligence as we had hoped. I'll go ahead and cut right to the chase for you all. If you were checking out the prior betas and had bad battery life on it, from the prior beta that we had with beta 4, I'm happy to say battery life significantly improved from what we were getting on prior betas. Hopefully that remains true for the release candidate. Not necessarily the case, but that is definitely hope there. I will say that the UI and everything has been smooth and much more polished feeling, not too much glitchiness, no springboard crashes. And again, if you've had those issues where notifications weren't syncing between your watch and your iPhone, that disappeared as of beta 4 as well. So that is definitely great to see. As far as iOS 18.4 goes, we did get a couple of new features, like I said, nothing really groundbreaking, unfortunately, but what we can tell you that's new, and let's just start out with the Vision app. So Apple Vision Pro does have their own app in this build. You can actually see details about it, kind of browse and see new features that might be available here. There are other new options here in Control Center as well. So if you wanted to say add a new option here, as you just saw there, for ambient music playing, you can do that. There's an option now for 4 pre-built settings here if you wanted to use, or you can create it going off of your own playlist as we have, and as you can hear starting. Turn that down so we don't get copyrighted here, but that is good to see as well. If you didn't want to use that option, you can add a control and just go to ambient in here. And you can see the standard ones of sleep, chill, productivity, and well-being, and it'll come up with different sounds for each one of those options. You can also now pause and resume app installs, and now this is capable and compatible with the 16E if you're looking to do some developer previews on those builds as well. You do also have visual intelligence for the iPhone 15 Pro with the action button, so if you wanted to remap that, you can do that as well. And there are also Apple Intelligent Control Center features here as well. Let's close this out. And you can see those new options here for Talk to Siri, Type to Siri, and Visual Intelligence. Again, nothing truly groundbreaking here at all. We do also have those new, let me close this out, those new 7 emojis. So if you go into anywhere you can type, and I just have Notes app, you can see these 7 new emojis here. You have the face with the bags under its eyes, a harp, a root vegetable, a leafless tree, a splatter, and a shovel. Again, nothing groundbreaking there, but it is still nice to see. We did get a modem update as well. You do have from one of the earlier builds, if you like Image Playground and still find it useful, Let's just go ahead and select a couple options here. You now do have that sketch style as well. If you want to switch to that, it's now available. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know how many people actually truly are still using Image Playground, but it is here. If that's what you like and it's your thing, that is a new option there. You do have priority notifications, and then in Apple News Plus, you have food for Apple News subscribers. So if you subscribe to that, you have some options there as well. Aside from that, not a ton of other new features here. All the focus is obviously now going to be on 18.5 and see if that reinvigorates Apple Intelligence and Siri. If you jump into settings and actually take a look at Apple Intelligence and Siri, again, as you would expect, nothing new here. Since this is the RC build, this is just the final version. No new features will be discovered in this. Possibly you'll see some UI tweaks, but nothing else usually does pop its head. You do have new languages supported, but really, that's going to be the majority of everything in this latest build. Now, as we were saying here, if you're interested in when this could drop, you are going to now have the possibility of getting this at the 31st of March instead of early April like they originally anticipated. But more likely, I still think we truly will see another beta build, or another RC build, I should say, on the 31st, with the full release for the public coming on the 7th. But let me know down in the comments below, how has your experience been with 18.4 if you have been running the beta cycles? I do look at y'all's comments. It seems like everyone has been kind of hit and miss with how well it has been working. I'm still up in the air up until that last beta where everything has been working as you would hope. Always battery life is the biggest concern, like I said, and I was happy to see how much it improved not only in iOS 18.4, but also watchOS 11.4. We'll do our follow-up video in regards to watchOS here shortly. But let us know down below what you think. What do you think about the direction of iOS updates and the potential huge changes in iOS 19? Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.